you're eating out of emotions and trying to comfort yourself through food, and that's also where the addictions start.
We're going to talk about excess sugar and how it harms you, just touch on physical health a little bit, and then we're going to go on to talking about how to decrease the amount of sugar in your diet if you are in excess. Sugar's okay, excess isn't. Remember to always give yourself grace. Don't obsess over your body and don't neglect your body.
Actually, sugar is from two natural things, sugar cane and sugar beets. Two simple sugars, fructose and glucose, are combined together and they make sucrose. And sucrose is what is listed in a lot of ingredients. Sugar is a carb, and we need carbs. So I'm not saying that sugar is bad and we shouldn't have sugar at all, but there are healthier types of sugars and there are unhealthy types of sugars. Also, when we eat a lot of carbs and our body is overwhelmed with sugar, it can't burn all of the sugar. So if you eat a lot of carbs and your body turns them into sugar, but it doesn't need all of that sugar, then you have extra sugar in your body, and that turns into being stored as fat. Sugar affects a lot of parts of your body, a lot of organs. It affects your heart, and it affects your liver. That's why it's really dangerous when you have too much sugar in your diet for several years, because it can cause inflammation and heart disease. Inflammation can lead to other things like arthritis, or even Alzheimer's disease. If you're already sold and thinking, yeah, I'll cut out more sugar, Sam, I'll eat less sugar, well, you want to be careful about doing it too fast because you'll cause yourself to boomerang. When we decrease our sugar too quickly, we end up boomeranging, meaning your body responds because it has an addiction to sugar, and so your body starts craving a lot of foods that will feed that addiction, and you have all these intense cravings. And so you gradually introduce more vegetables and less sugars into your diet. You'll cause less of a shock to your body. Here are some ways to start having less sugar in a really gentle, slow process. You could stop eating candy or stop drinking soda. If you're one of those people who loves candy and soda, you'd gradually have less and less, and you could replace it with something else. It's really easy to say you're going to cut out candy, and then you're like, oh, I just want one, so your body is craving sugar in some way. So you might want to replace the candy with some fruit or a handful of grapes, something like that, because they still have fruits still have sugar in them, and so your body will be satisfied. You're telling your brain, I just gave you sugar, and then you don't eat the candy. A lot of our sugars are put in our body through drinks. So any juices, iced tea, alcohol, they have sugar in them. And so you're unconsciously just not thinking about how much sugar is in a drink. So one thing besides soda is dropping any other drink besides water, tea, coffee. Be careful of how much sugar you're putting in your coffee. There are other ways to sweeten your coffee. Some people like honey, some people like agave, some people like maple syrup. Here in Vermont, we put a lot of maple syrup in our coffee, or maybe just me. You can also put stevia in your coffee, or I have a combination of stevia and monk fruit, and it's flavored with vanilla, and I love that. I put that in with a mix of erythritol. So the monk fruit and stevia is a liquid, and the erythritol is a powder, and it dissolves in my coffee, and that combination has made me very happy for over a year. Erythritol, really quick, is a sugar alcohol that doesn't increase your blood sugar. So it's not dangerous to people who are diabetic, perhaps, or it's not going to have the same effect that real sugar does on you, but it's still a real compound. And then there are artificial sweeteners, which I do not recommend. I'm not even going to list them. You know all those packets on the tables at restaurants and diners. When I was little, I remember being so excited to go to some chain restaurant and order unsweetened iced tea and then pour a bunch of Sweet and Low in there. Ugh, so disgusting. So I mentioned one, but don't use those. Try to be natural. We're not trying to put unknown things in our bodies or swap sugar for something even worse. You can also slowly decrease the amount of sugar you put in your coffee, and you'll get more used to the taste. Just like probably when you started drinking coffee, you had to get used to the taste. It's not something that most people immediately love to drink. There are tons more health benefits to eating less sugar, and I think you could find them all over the internet, so I'm not going to really go into them. Just going into the next step. It's business time. I'm just ready to tell you what to do next. You can also take a sugar challenge just to see what it would be like. So this is a temporary challenge that can help you menu build, grocery shop in ways where you're not buying what you typically buy to decrease the amount of your sugar intake just to be healthier. And you can decide basically between two types of sugar fasts. One is where you cut out processed sugars, like, okay, I'm not going to buy anything that put sugar in it, and I'm buying the box off the middle aisles of the grocery store. Or you can take unrefined sugar out of your diet too, and that means that you wouldn't have fruit for a while either. Why would you do this? Because you can reset your body and reset your gut health through sort of a sugar cleanse. You're still having healthy foods. This is not a diet. This is not like a crash diet. This is not to lose weight unless you gradually decrease your amount of sugar. You're just starting one day. It's going to be some random day where all of a sudden you're not having any sugar. In the first couple days you can have brain fog where you're like, I can't think. You can also experience a lot of cravings for sugar. And you might have a headache because you are addicted to sugar, as so many of us are. Don't be ashamed that you're addicted to sugar, and don't be afraid to say that you're addicted to sugar. I bet every American, unless you're really, really, really healthy vegan, you are addicted to sugar. So you're not alone. It's not a shaming thing. It's a thing to recognize so you can make your lifestyle more healthy. This brings me to a sugar fast that I'm actually doing. I am not leading it. It's led by Revelation Wellness, and I'm a Revelation Wellness fitness instructor. And so they're doing the 21-day sugar fast. The sign-ups end January 8th, which is really soon. And then the actual sugar fast begins Monday, January 11th. This sugar fast is not a diet. It is not to lose weight, though that might be a side effect. It is to reset your mind, your gut, and your body so that when you reintroduce sugar back into your diet, you can recognize how much sugar you're having. It brings you back to your body, because right now you might be eating a regular meal and you don't really notice how much sugar is in it, or your body is numbed to the amount of sugar that you're eating. So if you have something really sweet, it doesn't necessarily tell your brain, like, zing, that's so much sugar. Sometimes emotions cause us to want to have sugar, and so you're not hungry and your body isn't actually saying, give me some sugar, I need some energy here. Your body might not be involved in the physical aspect, but the emotional aspect. So if you're upset by something or highly stressed out, you might end up saying, like, oh, I just need some chocolate. And so that feeling is real, but you want to look further into that because you're eating out of emotions and trying to comfort yourself through food, and that's also where the addictions start. So anytime we're comforting ourselves with something and not getting to the root cause or not using a healthy coping mechanism to cope with stress, then we introduce or open the door for some addictions because we repeatedly go to the same thing to comfort us. I did the sugar fast with Revelation Wellness in the fall of 2019, and it was hard, but it was easier than I thought it would be. They give you emails every day. There's a nutritionist, Dr. Jana, who sends you emails and explains how to be healthy. Elisa Keaton, who is the founder of Revelation Wellness, is the other spokesperson of this challenge, and she encourages you to do gentle movement and really careful rest and restoration for your body, and not to overwork yourself through exercise during the sugar fast because your body's already going through sort of a shock. When the sugar fast was over for me, I bit into an apple and I could taste the sugar like times 10. It was amazing. I mean, really eye-opening. So if you're thinking about doing a sugar fast, you can do this one. This is by donation only. They suggest $10. I have paid $1 before just to get in. You get so much. It's 21 days, so you get an email, you get videos constantly, every day talking you through things. They give you a suggested workout calendar. They give you grocery lists. They tell you what to do if you're doing the total no sugars, no fruit, anything, or if you're just taking out the crappy sugars from the processed food boxes in the middle aisles of the grocery store. So they tell you a lot. They teach you a lot. They encourage you. So where do I come into this? Well, first of all, I'm going to participate in it. But second, I'm leading a free Facebook group. If you want to join, there's a link below. But it's going to be through my Facebook page called Smart to Veg Head.